Commercials. You love them or you don't. There are plenty of stinkers, but there are a few gems hidden amongst the turds. I've always found that plenty of them can be entertaining in their own ways, almost like short 15 to 30 second movies. So today I want to take a look at some commercials. From old to new, the good, the bad, and the just plain weird. So how about we take a look? And because this is a tribute, just play the intro people are expecting.
After these messages.
After these messages.
After these messages.
After these messages. We'll be right back.
We'll start off with one that I remember surprisingly clearly. We see a large crowd of kids rushing through what appears to be an abandoned industrial zone. For what, you may ask? Yu-Gi-Oh cards, of course. Yeah, that certainly draws in a crowd this big.
The power of the cards.
It's time to duel!
This was back when Yu-Gi-Oh just came out in America, so it was blowing up in popularity, and this ad was one of many for the trading cards, though it's a little weird. While the anime had the game be a huge spectacle with tournaments and monster holograms, here, these kids aren't even playing the game. They're just showing off their cards.
Playtime is over!
It's time to duel!
To be fair, that's probably what most kids did anyway. Most weren't patient enough to play a game like this. What makes this ad stand out is after the kids flash their cards, the respective monster appears. And I'm not gonna lie, this CGI Exodia looks cool. Exodia Kid wins, and Blue Eyes Kid nowhere to be seen. Presumably dead. I mean, banished to the Shadow Realm. Anyway, it's a simple enough commercial for the time, and something that brings me back to a simpler era. Next commercial. This one I always hated as a kid. It's a horde of children chasing someone. Who? The Tin Man from Wizard of Oz. Why? 'Cause he looks like a giant can of Chef Boyardee. Alright, I know kids aren't the smartest, but how do you not know this is a man? Anyways, the kids are hunting him down in hopes of getting the ravioli within him, presumably killing him in the process. And that always freaked me out.
Lock the doors, Jimmy.
Oh boy.
Maybe some people got a laugh out of these ads, but I liked the 30s Wizard of Oz movie. So seeing these kids thoroughly hunt down the Tin Man to violently rip him apart? Pretty disturbing. Especially when the kids finally do catch him. They corner him in a backyard and hold him at hose point.
Don't move, lunch boy.
Followed by cries of pure fear. Well, he doesn't have a heart, so I guess he doesn't have a soul either. I don't know. I always thought this one was cruel. Well made enough, and the Tin Man actually looks like he came straight out of the 1939 film. But it just always rubbed me the wrong way. Geico has had several ad campaigns over the years, many recognizable, from the Geico Gecko to the caveman, and that goddamn camel that would never shut up.
It's hump day.
But a set of commercials I felt never got as much attention was based around phrases. A man would appear on screen asking if Geico could really save you 15% or more on car insurance, then followed by if other sayings were true.
Did the little piggy cry wee 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 all the way home?
Max.
Wait!
Maxwell!
Yeah?
You're home.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Mrs. A.
They were clever enough, so managing to get a few good laughs.
Do dogs chase cats?
Some didn't even need to have an outlandish punchline, just awkward silence to make it funny.
Was Abe Lincoln honest?
Does this dress make my backside look big?
Perhaps it...
Some weren't even well-known phrases. I think they just wanted to show something random.
Does a former drill sergeant make a terrible therapist?
You know what makes me sad?
You do! Maybe we should chug on over to Mamby-Pamby land, where maybe we can find some self-confidence for you, you jackwagon!
The one I remember best was always the woodchucks.
Do woodchucks chuck wood? Hey, you dang woodchucks! Quit chucking my wood!
I don't know. It's just such a dumb joke, but the laughing of the woodchucks always gets to me. And to be fair, having fresh lumber thrown into a lake would piss me off too. They were fun while they lasted, but I guess Geico wanted to switch things up. Which is fair enough, but I'll always remember them well.
Tissue? Cry, baby.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
This is a set of ads that are still playing. They're for Freshpet, a brand of refrigerated dog food made with real meats. It seems to be for pet owners who don't want to feed their dogs kibble and give them a more rounded diet. But the pet owners in these ads are odd.
Is that dog food in the fridge?
It's not dog food. It's Freshpet for Peter.
That's Peter? Should have known.
You do make a pretty cute couple.
You're the kind of person who makes a pilgrimage to furry cons every year, aren't you? Maybe it's just because I'm not a pet person, but the obsession these people have for their dogs is wild.
You keep dog food in your fridge?
It's not dog food, it's Freshpet. Real meat, real veggies.
That you feed your dog, so it's dog food.
It's food for a dog. It's dog food. You don't eat it, do you? You refrigerate it with food, yes, but you also keep raw meat in the fridge. Do you eat that?
You're all the family I need.
It's a dog! In this one, we don't even see the person get kicked out of the house.
Mom? Dad?
You're so lucky you're single.
Maybe it's just my dark mind saying things, but I can't help but imagine she killed her in-law and is feeding her to the dog.
Oh, what's this? You keep dog food in the fridge?
It's not dog food. It's Freshpet from my boy Junior.
No disrespect, but what are we doing here?
I can actually kind of believe this one. Mobsters would probably kill over something this petty. Again, I'm not a pet person at all, especially dogs, but these ads are annoying as hell. Maybe it speaks better to dog lovers, but to me, they always give me the wrong ideas.
You were so right about her.
Freshpet. It's not dog food, it's food food.
While Sprite has been king of lemon lime sodas for decades, Pepsi actually had their own that rivaled Sprite for a few years, even passing 7-Up, another big name in sales. In the late 90s, Pepsi came out with Sierra Mist, their own lemon lime soda. It stood out for using actual cane sugar as opposed to corn syrup like most sodas in America. And unlike Sprite, whose commercials center around basketball and hip-hop for some reason, Sierra Mist ads were focused on comedy and how refreshing the drink was, with the tagline, shockingly refreshing.
One shockingly refreshing lemon lime.
The ads would show various people during hot days or weather finding ways to stay cool. You can tell how hot it is because everything has a yellow tint to it. Or it's filmed in Mexico, I don't know. Then followed up by the people finding an over-the-top, almost cartoonish way to cool themselves off.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
From jumping into an icy lake, getting blasted by a fire hydrant, and whatever this guy was trying to accomplish. And look at this woman. How long was she in that fridge? Also, is there room in there for two? They even did a tie-in with Shrek 2 when it was out in theaters.
Oh, what a scorcher. I tell you, Shrek, I am an Atman.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Sierra Mist. Tastes one shockingly refreshing lemon lime.
Let's do that again.
So Donkey can survive the vacuum of space. I always knew he was on par with Superman. These ads were fun, and the drink was good too. But it seemed after these ads, Pepsi didn't quite know how to advertise it, and eventually it dropped in sales, and ultimately discontinued years later. But at least plenty of the ads are still around and giving some hilarious moments. Who knows? Maybe they'll both come back someday.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Sierra Mist. Taste one shockingly refreshing lemon lime.
Monkey!
Let's get this one out of the way real quick. It's the standard Jell-O commercial that stars everyone's favorite family-friendly TV dad, Bill Cosby. Great start. Cosby approaches a kid on the beach building a sandcastle and offers him a pudding pop. Don't worry, it's clean. He explains that pudding pops are a treat fit for royalty.
You know, all the finest castles serve Jell-O Pudding Pops.
They do?
It's a snack fit for a king because it's so rich and creamy.
Nothing is super off about this ad except for the final few seconds. They aged as well as an actual pudding pop in the sun.
A veritable feast for the tummy.
And I won't end up in the dungeon.
Just the fact that Cosby laughs so creepily at the mention of a dungeon, yeah, that's enough to get me to want to talk about it for your viewing displeasure. You're welcome.
And I won't end up in the dungeon.
Here's some fun ones. In the mid-2000s, Apple Jacks had not just one, but two mascots for their cereal, Cinnamon and the Bad Apple, the latter of which I swear was voiced by Rob Paulson for the longest time.
Stay out of my Applejack!
Turns out it isn't. The two would race each other to get to a freshly poured bowl of Apple Jacks. Looney Tunes-styled antics ensue, ultimately ending with Cinnamon's victory because he's... Cinnamon! And Apple suffers because why the hell should Apple Jacks taste like apples?
Yo-ho! Apple Jacks, get it?
Dumbass. It's clear the commercials were done with stop-motion animation, which is always a treat to see, and they managed to be pretty creative with the previously mentioned antics resembling a Roadrunner cartoon.
Hey, buddy, I'll get this bowl. Whoa, who turned off the light?
Though the ads no longer exist, Apple and Cinnamon continued as mascots for the cereal, featured on the boxes for many more years. But at some point they must have viewed Cinnamon as a stereotype, and both him and Apple were replaced with what looks like stock art. Exciting. They may be gone, but the creativity and fun still remains.
A cinnamony part of this complete breakfast.
Hello, they're called Apple Jacks!
Have you ever had those moments where you see a piece of media but then can never find a trace of it anywhere years later? Could be a movie, a song, video game, or in this case, a commercial. Well, I found one I questioned if it was even real. This is a commercial for Armor All, a brand of car cleaning products. Seems like a pretty straightforward product to advertise. But this one? Strange. It starts with a man waking up in the morning only to find a stranger rummaging through his garage. Rightfully angry, he arms himself to confront the intruder, who turns out to be a Viking. Already weird?
You don't deserve this car.
Sweetie,
Honey, get back in the house.
Hey! Oh! Oh!
Sir?
The Viking steals the Armor All, the guy's car, and his wife, too? Why? Just because his car was dirty, that means he doesn't deserve anything? Why don't you burn his house down, too? How do you know he wasn't going to clean it today? You don't know how long he's had that. Maybe the car got dirty last night. He can't wait a bit before deciding to clean it? And why take the guy's wife, too?
Hey! Oh! Oh!
Sir? Honey, why aren't you fighting back?
And why is she happy to go with? And honestly, there's a gift pack of car cleaning supplies? I've seen gift packs of candy, even things like soap or cologne, but a pack of car wax? Oh yeah, this is exactly what I wanted for my birthday. I don't know. I don't get this one. It's just weird. Lesson of the day is, don't let your car get dirty or you'll lose everything. For most Americans, the Super Bowl needs no introduction. It's the big finale of the two best teams of the football season going head-to-head. But if you're like me and you don't give two shits about football, you stick around for the commercials. Super Bowl commercials are an event themselves. Companies spend millions to make the ads and spend millions more just to get a slot to play their ads during the game. From 2006 to 2016, Doritos offered people a chance to be part of the Super Bowl themselves and make their own commercials, even bringing back the contest in 2025, and presumably so they didn't have to spend their own money. Just outsource it to people on the internet. But it was a cool idea. Get some up-and-coming filmmakers to make their own commercials and get the chance to have it actually play on TV. 3 winners would be picked along with getting your commercial on TV. You'd win a cash prize, sometimes as high as $1 million. This did cause a mixed bag of results, no pun intended. While there were some high-quality ones, a lot of them were clearly people trying their best.
Well, hey, Sacco, how's it going?
What you doing, Pat?
Though the idea of the contest was cool, I always thought these commercials that did win and aired were kinda lazy. They all involved the same things. Little kids messing with adults, dogs acting like people, and for some reason, trying to make Doritos sexy. Seriously? Why are they trying to make an orange triangle erotic? This lady licks Dorito dust off this guy's face, and it gives him the idea to put Doritos on his groin. Why? I know it's not unusual for commercials to use sex to sell a product, but it's usually an ads for things that make sense. Perfumes and cologne makes you smell good and clean, of course. Alcohol, people drink at parties or bars to meet people, also makes sense. Condoms, how else would you advertise those? For a cheese-flavored corn chip?
Doritos. Yummy.
Oh yeah, that's the perfect aphrodisiac, right up there with oysters and chocolate. I know they brought a lot of entertainment to people, but I couldn't help but groan every time I saw them air. Fun contest, genius marketing idea, but in practice, pretty awkward. I want to end with a commercial that's pretty much a mini-movie. It's for a car company whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce. It starts with a man in his car at a stoplight when... That's right, it's a live-action version of Hanna-Barbera's Wacky Races. And honestly, it actually looks pretty cool. Maybe it's because I grew up loving those live-action Scooby-Doo and Flintstones movies, but I'd pay to see this as an actual movie. Just keep Vin Diesel away. Maybe it was supposed to be a movie, an equivalent to the MCU. We already got Scooby-Doo, Flintstone, Yogi Bear, and Josie and the Pussycat movies. Now, after Wacky Races, we'll get the Hanna-Barbera equivalent to the Avengers. Laugh Olympics! Honestly, the costumes and effects do a nice job of replicating the cartoons into live action. They even got a more accurate version of Dick Dastardly than the Scoob movie did. And like most car commercials, the main car wins in all aspects, and somehow owning the car gets you a hot lady. Ah, so that's why I'm single. It's a fun commercial. It pays tribute to a classic yet overlooked cartoon, and does a good job at adapting it to live action. It gets a few laughs, and is actually a fun race to watch. It's an ad I'd actually want to see on TV.
Visual.
And that's about all I have to say. I wanted to share my thoughts on a few commercials from my memory and a few recent ones that stuck out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Who knows? Maybe I'll cover more in the future. Thanks for watching.